This is Rad Kakadu, and welcome to this video about enzymes. So this video is going to actually teach you everything you need to understand about enzymes. We're going to look at some of the other stuff other than just identifying or rather defining what an enzyme is. We're going to actually look at what are some of the characteristics of these enzymes that we are talking about. How can I know that this is an enzyme, or what are some of the features, and obviously some theoretical aspects in terms of characteristics that this is an enzyme. And also look at some of the factors such as optimum temperature. We need also to define what optimum temperature is, and also look at also pH as one of the factors that also affect enzymes, reactions, and finally we'll look at also some of the industrial applications of enzymes. So if you're new to this channel, please make sure that you do subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any single information from us, Rad Kakadu. So what are you waiting for? Please click on the subscription button for more information. Okay, so now let's dive into the key fundamentals of what an enzyme is. So I'm going to actually keep it very simple so that we deliver a message to the audience for those that are in grade 10 and those that are writing biology this year. So now when you look at enzymes, okay, so about enzymes is that an enzyme is a biological catalyst, okay, or an enzyme is a protein in nature, okay, that catalyzes some these biological processes, okay. So when you look at the reaction, maybe a respiration that takes place in your cells within the mitochondria organelles, is that there are certain enzymes. There are certain enzymes that are going to act on such reactions in order to speed the chemical reaction. So we are looking at enzymes as these more like assistants. Okay, they do assist biological reactions that happens almost in all parts of our body or to all parts of our body. So enzymes are such an important aspect for any of the biological reactions or processes that occur in your body. So without most of these enzymes, the digestion is going to actually take so long. Some of the other, biological processes, even some of the sensitivity, or even just, a sperm fertilizing an egg, okay, requires also some of the enzymes to be produced so that the reaction or that biological process can actually be speeded up. So if you compare an enzyme to what it is in the chemical sense, is that in a chemical sense we talk about a catalyst, okay, and they're just at the end of the day they actually perform the same function, okay, as increases the speed, okay, or speeds up the rate of that chemical reaction, okay. So if something it was actually gonna take maybe 1 hour, okay, it's gonna actually take maybe half of that hour. So those are the enzymes, okay. So now what are some of the characteristics of our enzymes? People don't understand these things, okay. So some of the characteristics of enzymes is that enzymes, one of them is they are very specific on what kind of reactions they do actually catalyze or they do act upon. Or if you are talking about biological sense, you're also looking at what are some of the foods, okay, upon which those enzymes actually react on in order to speed up those reactions. Normally we have seen this in the biological process of digestion, okay. So really 3 factors, okay. If you look at some of these factors, okay, some of the characteristics of enzymes, okay, specific. So an enzyme is specific, okay. So an enzyme that normally catalyzes a reaction, let's say for example, when you're looking at the digestion of starch, okay, cannot go and catalyze a chemical reaction that happens in the stomach. Okay, so they got to be specific. Okay, they have to be specific, and that's some kind of separation of powers. Okay, despite them being an enzyme, but it cannot go just and act or catalyze a certain chemical reaction that it does actually doesn't work on. So enzymes are specific, and also enzymes have a specific temperature at which they do operate on, and that's what we call the optimum temperature. Okay, so the optimum temperature, this is the temperature at which the enzymes normally operate so well. Okay, so I mean they are going to actually speed up the rate of the chemical reaction or any of the biological process that is happening and requires certain enzymes to work on. Okay, so that is optimum temperature, and this optimum temperature is somewhere 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, so anything above that, okay, so now we are saying that the temperature is somewhere 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, and then enzymes have got actually a certain pH. Okay, so in this case, the way to understand about the pH is normally to look at the pH scale. So different parts of your body, okay, actually has a certain environment, okay, that can only allow certain enzymes based on that condition of the environment. And this environment can have different pH levels. Okay, so depending on the level of that pH, okay, then you have a particular enzyme that can work in that kind of environment. Okay, so the pH environment can either be acidic or just alkaline. Okay, so now if you have the pH that is actually, tending to be an acidic pH, okay, so it simply means that only that enzyme that can operate in that kind of environment of the pH, then it's going to actually operate in that environment. And mostly of these acidic, okay, it's actually from 0 to 6. So now we are saying that this pH level, if it is acidic, then it can start from 0 all the way up to 6. So this pH has a scale, okay, from where we can identify whether a substance is acidic or alkaline, okay, depending on what kind of value we get. So you can normally use an instrument, okay, called the pH meter. And when the environment of a particular region is alkaline, then the numbers that determine alkalinity normally start from 8 all the way up to 14. So we have 8 all the way up to 14. So then you can see from this part that we can now have some of the substances, okay, can also be neutral. Okay, so you can have an environment under which the pH is normally neutral. So if the pH is neutral, then nothing is going to actually disturb that. Okay, so even some of the enzymes that can work in the neutral environment. Okay, but normally it's never exactly neutral like 7. as a pH, but it can be 7 point something, because things are not constant. Things are not the same throughout the process. They tend to go up, they tend to go down, go down and go up, and just like that. Okay, so make sure that we understand these characteristics. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.